The year is 1943. Over the blood-soaked skies of Europe, young American bomber crews are being slaughtered. Every mission is a death sentence. Every flight into German territory means watching friends explode in midair, their screams lost in the roar of engines and enemy fire. The Luftwaffe is winning. And back home, deep in a California hangar, one man is about to gamble everything on an idea that the experts call impossible. His name is James Howard Kindleberger, and he's staring at a problem that's killing the Allied war effort. The P-51 Mustang, America's newest fighter, is fast, beautiful, and utterly useless where it matters most. It can't fly deep enough into German territory. It can't protect the bombers on their suicide runs to Berlin. Its Allison engine chokes at high altitude, leaving it gasping for breath while Messerschmitts dance overhead, ripping apart flying fortresses like paper targets. The most elegant fighter plane in American history is failing at the only job that matters. But Kindleberger sees something others don't. He looks at that sleek Mustang airframe, the low-drag laminar flow wings, the aerodynamic perfection, and realizes it's been married to the wrong engine. It's like putting a lawnmower motor in a race car. And in a moment that will reshape the entire trajectory of World War II, he conceives a radical idea. What if they ripped out the American Allison engine and replaced it with something British? Something powerful. Something called the Rolls-Royce Merlin. The aviation establishment thinks he's lost his mind. American engineers scoff at the notion of importing British technology to fix an American fighter. It's a question of pride, of nationalism, of military doctrine. The Merlin engine is magnificent, the same power plant that drives the legendary Spitfire, but it has never been installed in an American airframe. The modifications required seem endless. The cooling systems are different. The mounting points don't match. The supercharger dynamics aren't tested at the weights and speeds the Mustang demands. One engineer after another delivers the same verdict: it can't be done. Not quickly enough. Not reliably enough. Not in time to save the thousands of bomber crews dying in the European theater. But Kindleberger refuses to listen, because he understands something profound about warfare that conventional thinking loses wars. That breakthrough comes from a reasonable man willing to bet everything on vision. He knows that. Mathematics of attrition. He knows that without long-range fighter escort, the strategic bombing campaign will collapse. Germany's war machine will keep churning out tanks and planes and weapons. The invasion of Europe will become impossible. The war will drag on for years, consuming hundreds of thousands more lives. This isn't about building a better airplane. This is about survival. So, he makes the call. Against advice. Against protocol. He orders the modification. They'll make the Mustang to the Merlin and pray it works. The transformation happens in a fever dream of round-the-clock engineering. Test pilots push the hybrid prototype to its limits and beyond. The results stun everyone. The Merlin engine doesn't just improve the Mustang, it transforms it into something transcendent. The supercharged Merlin breathes pure power at altitude, where the old Allison gasped and failed. Suddenly, the P-51 can fly higher, faster, and impossibly farther than any fighter in existence. With drop tanks, it can escort bombers all the way to Berlin and back. It can stay with them through the entire nightmare. It can hunt. And when it finds the enemy, it's faster than anything Germany has in the sky. The P-51D Mustang, the Merlin-powered variant, becomes operational in late 1943. The Luftwaffe has no idea what's about to hit them. Picture this, it's early 1944. A formation of B-17 flying fortresses drones eastward into Germany. Their crews knowing they're flying into hell. Every previous raid has been decimated. The Luftwaffe fighters swarm like wolves, attacking in waves, exploiting the bomber's vulnerability. But today is different. Today, sleek silver shapes appear beside the Mustangs, dozens of them, staying with the bombers mile after impossible mile. The German fighters attack as usual. And for the first time, they are met by escorts that can fight back all the way to the target and home again. The air war shifts in a heartbeat. Luftwaffe pilots who've grown accustomed to easy kills suddenly face an opponent that outturns them, outclimbs them, outspeeds them. The psychological impact is devastating. German ace pilots, men who've dominated the skies for years, start dying. The new Americans aren't running out of fuel and turning back. They're staying. They're hunting. They're aggressive, well-trained, and flying machines that seem almost supernatural in their capabilities. The Messerschmitts and Focke-Wulfs that terrorized Allied bombers become prey. The statistics tell a brutal story. Before the P-51D, bomber losses run as high as 25% per mission, unsustainable carnage. After the Mustang arrives in force, losses plummet to less than 5%. The strategic bombing campaign that was failing begins succeeding. German factories are destroyed. Oil refineries explode. The logistical heart of the Nazi war machine starts hemorrhaging. And in the sky, the Luftwaffe is being systematically annihilated. By spring of 1944, the Americans aren't just defending anymore. They're attacking. Mustang pilots receive new orders: go hunting, strafe German airfields, destroy planes on the ground, shoot down anything that flies. The P-51 becomes both shield and sword, protecting the bombers while simultaneously waging a war of extermination against German air power. And the Germans can't respond. They're running out of fuel, running out of pilots, running out of planes. Every time they send fighters up, more of them don't come back. The Normandy invasion in June 1944 succeeds partly because Allied air superiority is total. German reinforcements can't move in daylight without being destroyed from above. And overhead, maintaining that suffocating dominance, are thousands of P-51 Mustangs, the impossible hybrid that shouldn't exist, born from one man's refusal to accept defeat. The experts who called Kindleberger crazy watch in silence as his impossible modification becomes the most important fighter plane of the war. Over 15,000 P-51s roll off production lines. They serve in every theater. They escort bombers deep into Japan. They become the measuring stick against which all other fighters are judged. And they break the Luftwaffe so completely that by war's end, German air power is effectively extinct. But here is the deeper truth, the lesson that echoes beyond World War II into every challenge humanity faces. Kindleberger's breakthrough didn't come from superior resources or better technology. The British already had the Merlin. The Americans already had the Mustang. The innovation was seeing that two good things could become one extraordinary thing. It was having the audacity to ignore the experts when intuition screamed that orthodoxy was wrong. It was understanding that perfect is the enemy of good enough right now, and that the window for action closes fast when people are dying. The P-51 Mustang didn't end German air power through incremental improvement. It ended it through radical synthesis, through the courage to attempt something unprecedented because the alternative was unacceptable. And in a California hangar in 1943, when one engineer looked at an underperforming fighter and saw not failure but potential, he changed the course of human history. Sometimes the craziest ideas are the only ones worth believing in.